Bachelor in Paradise, Truth Behind Why No One Else Ratted Jeremy Out. August 15th, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News fans. What is the truth behind none of the other Bachelor in Paradise cast ratting Jeremy Simon out for what he did to Bailey Brown? It seemed that everyone knew he had been wrong, but failed to report it to the Bachelor alum. So what was the reason, and is it valid? Keep reading for more details. Why no one else ratted Jeremy out? Bachelor in Paradise has seen a huge twist this season, with a lot of money on the line for the couple that wins. It has changed the game, and some people have simply chosen to stay together to get to the finish line. They do not care if there is a connection or not, which says a lot about money desperation. One couple that has been attempting to go strong is Bailey Brown and Jeremy Simon. They appear to have a good connection, and she adores him, but behind the scenes, he was involved in some shady business. Behind Bailey's back, he wanted another chance with Susie Evans. She left the island, but he felt he had made the wrong choice. It came down to him calling Susie to get her back and stating that he would propose. Bailey had no idea that Jeremy had done this, and when the cast had a secret rendezvous challenge, Brian Ott stepped up. He wanted to meet with Bailey to let her know what happened with Susie, but many castmates thought he was in the wrong. However, they all knew what Jeremy had done and remained silent. But was there a reason? Reality Steve shared an update on the BIP drama and explained that Brian told Bailey as a strategic gaming move. Additionally, he felt the need to do so since he was the only one who had direct knowledge of the phone call. The rest of the cast did not feel they knew enough, so they let it go. So much drama and hate. Jeremy Simon also led everyone to believe that he had spoken to Bailey Brown about Susie. Therefore, the rest of Bachelor in Paradise were ready to move on. Little did they know that Bailey was in the dark and just wanted transparency. After this information came out, did viewers agree with Brian's motives, or did they think he genuinely did not want Bailey hurt? It's not that Brian was a hero, but the cast seemed more interested in protecting Jeremy than being honest with Bailey. As far as I'm concerned, they're all doing damage control because they knew they screwed up. Why the fuck do intentions matter? It's still something she should have been made aware of. Some felt that the contestants were speaking to Reality Steve and venting over their portrayal. Therefore, that was how he got to this conclusion. At the same time, not many cared for Brian, and they only became invested when he helped Bailey. Do you agree with why no one else told Bailey, or do you think this is a cop-out? Let us know your thoughts and watch Bachelor in Paradise Mondays on
Beaches
ABC.
of Bachelor in Paradise Season 10 have seen their share of heartbreak, betrayal, and shocking revelations. But one storyline has kept fans buzzing more than any other: Jeremy and his secret. Viewers who followed Week 7 through Week 9 already know that Jeremy's scandal nearly tore Paradise apart. But what's left unsaid is just as explosive: why no one else ratted him out sooner. This story dives deep into the dynamics of trust, fear, and loyalty that played out both on camera and off. It's not just about Jeremy, it's about what his silence, and everyone else's, reveals about the fragile ecosystem of Paradise itself. The secret that shook Paradise. Jeremy arrived in Paradise with an easy smile and a charm that made him instantly likable. He was the type of contestant who could shift from playful banter at the bar to heart-to-heart talks under the stars, and somehow no one felt like they were getting the fake version of him. But beneath his cool exterior, Jeremy carried a secret. It wasn't just the typical baggage contestants brought: an ex they weren't over, a DM scandal, or a hidden hookup. His secret was messier. Before Paradise even began filming, Jeremy had gotten close to someone else in Bachelor Nation. That someone wasn't just another contestant, it was Bailey's best friend from her season. And while Jeremy swore the relationship never crossed into serious territory, he downplayed how entangled their lives had become. By the time filming started, his heart wasn't nearly as free as he pretended. Fans who watched his budding romance with Bailey felt the tension without knowing why. Every compliment he gave her felt real, but at the same time, there was a flicker in his eyes, like he was playing a game no one else understood. The Whisper Network. Paradise is never just about two people. Relationships form and collapse under the watchful eyes of other cast members who trade gossip like currency. And Jeremy's secret didn't stay buried for long. By week 5, whispers spread across the beach. Contestants like Brian, Carolina, and even Juliana pieced together fragments of Jeremy's past. Someone had seen a text before phones were taken away. Someone else had caught wind of a late-night conversation he shouldn't have had. But here's the twist. Instead of blowing up his spot, the cast protected him. They shared knowing glances, traded loaded comments, but no one came forward to confront him on camera. Why? Because in Paradise, alliances matter as much as love. Ratting Jeremy out meant burning bridges, not just with him, but with anyone aligned with him. Contestants who had a chance at finding love or securing more screen time decided silence was safer. Bailey's blind spot. The hardest part for fans to stomach was Bailey itself. She was deeply invested in Jeremy, and she didn't see the storm brewing around her. Whenever castmates hinted that she should ask more questions or trust her gut, Bailey brushed it off. Jeremy had a way of pulling her back in, making her feel like she was the only woman who truly mattered to him. Behind the scenes, though, producers were practically begging contestants to stir the pot. They wanted someone, anyone, to spill Jeremy's secret and ignite chaos. Yet no one would. Because here's the thing, Bailey was well-liked. Calling out Jeremy meant shattering her happiness, and no one wanted to be the villain responsible for breaking her heart. Fear of the edit. For many contestants, the choice not to rat Jeremy out wasn't about loyalty, it was about survival. Every season of Bachelor in Paradise proves that one wrong move can define a contestant's legacy forever. Fans still talk about past villains who were painted as manipulators even when editing twisted the truth. Brian confessed off-camera to another cast member, "If I say something, I'll look better. If I keep quiet, at least I don't get the villain edit." Carolina, who had clashed with other women earlier in the season, felt the same way. She'd already been portrayed as the pot stirrer, and she knew if she brought up Jeremy's secret, she'd be accused of chasing screen time. So everyone waited. They assumed Jeremy's truth would eventually come out on its own. But when it didn't, their silence became louder than any confession could have been. The turning point. It wasn't until week 9 that Jeremy's house of cards nearly collapsed. During a rose ceremony, Bailey's nerves were already frayed. She sensed tension in the air and pulled Jeremy aside for reassurance. But before he could speak, another contestant, Juliana, nearly spilled everything. She looked Bailey in the eye and said, "There are things you don't know about Jeremy." The entire beach froze. Cameras zoomed in. Producers leaned forward. This was the moment they'd been waiting for. But then Juliana pulled back. She shook her head, muttered something about not wanting to hurt her, and walked away. Jeremy had dodged the bullet again, not because he deserved it, but because no one else was willing to pull the trigger. Why silence one? So why did no one rat Jeremy out? The answer lies in a messy mix of fear, loyalty, and self-preservation. Fear of villain status. No one wanted to be the snitch who ruined Bailey's happiness. Strategic alliances. Contestants relied on Jeremy for connections, roses, and influence. Producer manipulation. Rumors suggest producers discouraged cast members from exposing Jeremy too soon, saving the drama for the perfect moment. Genuine care. Despite the drama, many castmates cared about Bailey and didn't want to see her destroyed in front of millions. It wasn't that no one knew, it was that everyone decided their silence was safer than the fallout. The fallout fans didn't see. When the camera stopped rolling, the truth finally came out. Bailey learned about Jeremy's pre-Paradise entanglement, and the heartbreak was brutal. She questioned not only Jeremy, but also the friends who had stood by and said nothing. For some cast members, the guilt was overwhelming. Brian admitted in an exit interview, "We should have told her, but we didn't, and that's something I'll always regret." The silence that protected Jeremy on the beach ultimately shattered Bailey's trust long after filming ended. The bigger picture. The Jeremy saga isn't just one man's secret. It's a case study in how Bachelor in Paradise really works. Secrets are currency. Silence can be strategy. Protecting someone's image can matter more than telling the truth.
And sometimes the truth doesn't come out until the cameras are gone. The legacy of silence. Today, fans debate whether Jeremy was a master manipulator or simply a man caught between two worlds. But the real story, the one fans will remember, isn't just about him. It's about the people who knew the truth, chose silence, and left viewers screaming at their screens, "Why didn't anyone say anything?" Because in paradise, love might be the goal, but survival is the game. And sometimes, silence speaks louder than words.
We must go beyond the cameras and into the heart of paradise itself, a world where secrets, loyalty, fear, and strategy collide. Jeremy stepped off the boat with the kind of confidence that could charm anyone. Brian whispered to Carolina, "He's got that classic Bachelor Nation charisma, too smooth for his own good." Bailey, standing at the shoreline with her friends, felt an immediate spark. "There's something about him," she murmured. "I don't know. He just seems different." But Jeremy carried a hidden connection from before paradise, one that could ruin everything if it ever came to light. By week 5, subtle hints of Jeremy's past started circulating. During a group brunch, Carolina leaned close to Brian. "Did you see that text before filming? Something doesn't add up with Jeremy." Brian hesitated, looking around. "Yeah, let's not say anything yet. If we confront him now, we'll look jealous or manipulative." Even Juliana, who often clashed with other women, felt the tension. She observed Jeremy carefully, but didn't speak. The unspoken rule of paradise became clear. Some secrets weren't yours to reveal. Bailey had no idea that a secret storm was brewing. Jeremy's compliments felt sincere. His attention was unwavering. One evening, under the moonlight, Bailey confided in Juliana. "I really think he's different. I can trust him. I just know it." Juliana wanted to warn her, but hesitated. She knew the fallout would make her look bitter or jealous. And in paradise, perception often mattered more than truth. Behind the scenes, producers quietly shaped the narrative. Rumors suggest they discouraged cast members from exposing Jeremy too early. During a casual crew check-in, Brian overheard a producer whisper, "Let him play it out. The audience will see the tension. The drama is what matters." The cast quickly realized that any revelation could backfire. Exposing Jeremy risked being edited as petty or malicious. Survival instincts overrode morality. By week 7, Jeremy's inconsistencies became noticeable. He flirted with Bailey in public, but sometimes withdrew privately. During a group challenge, Carolina noticed him texting furtively. "Something's off," she said quietly. Brian shook his head. "Better wait. Speaking up now makes us villains. Trust me, it's safer to watch than act." The balance between honesty and self-preservation weighed heavily on every cast member. As week 8 unfolded, the whispers became impossible to ignore. At a poolside evening party, contestants exchanged subtle signals, raised eyebrows, knowing glances, but still, no one confronted Jeremy directly. Brian admitted privately to Carolina, "I can tell something's up, but if I say anything, the edit will make me look bitter. Let's hold off." Even those who genuinely cared for Bailey decided silence was safer than truth. Week 9 brought the ultimate tension. Bailey sensed that Jeremy wasn't being completely honest. Before the rose ceremony, she pulled him aside. "Jeremy, please, tell me you're being truthful. I need to know." Jeremy smiled, calm and practiced. "Bailey, you're the only one I want here, I promise." Juliana lingered nearby, mouth open to speak. She started, hesitated, and then walked away. She couldn't risk shattering Bailey's trust, or her own image on camera. Late at night, around the fire pit, cast members whispered about Jeremy's secret. Carolina admitted to Juliana, "I hate that we're keeping this from Bailey. It doesn't feel right." Juliana sighed, "I know, but if we say something now, the blame falls on us, not Jeremy, and she'll hate us forever." Brian added, "We're in this together, unspoken alliances. In paradise, that's how you survive." The moral dilemma was clear: loyalty to Bailey or loyalty to self-preservation. After filming ended, the truth emerged. Bailey learned about Jeremy's prior entanglement, and the heartbreak was intense. She questioned not only Jeremy, but everyone who had known and remained silent. Brian admitted in a post-show interview, "I wish I'd spoken up, but at the time, it felt like any move would make me the villain."
That's something I'll always regret. Carolina echoed him. It was a moral dilemma. Do you protect a friend or survive the game? We chose survival. The Jeremy saga isn't just a story of one man. It's a window into the mechanics of paradise. Secrets are currency. Silence can be strategy. Protecting someone's image can matter more than telling the truth. Fans debated Jeremy's character endlessly, but the bigger question remained. What does it say about the cast that no one ratted him out? It shows how fragile trust is when stakes are high. It demonstrates that human instincts for survival can overpower loyalty, love, and honesty. Bailey eventually found closure, but the lesson lingered. In paradise, appearances can deceive. Alliances dictate truth, and sometimes the most shocking revelations come from those who stayed silent. Even weeks after filming, contestants continued to wrestle with guilt and strategy, proving that the line between morality and survival in paradise is as thin as the sands on its beaches. The Jeremy saga will be remembered not just for scandal, but for its insight into paradise itself. Silence spoke louder than words, shaping relationships long after cameras stopped rolling. Fans are still divided. Was Jeremy a manipulator or a victim of circumstance? The real lesson lies elsewhere. In paradise, love is the goal, but survival is the game, and speaking out can come at a higher cost than most can imagine.